Aloha, it's Jacob Pompeo, tuning in from Colorado. As you can see, we have a lot of snow out here. The camera might not even adjust because of the brightness of it all. So I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys about the allure of homelessness. Now, it's a weird concept. It doesn't quite make sense to a lot of people. And I had to take a lot of time to think about it, honestly, before even making this video. But when some people become homeless, they seem to be trapped in this perpetual cycle. Like, you'll meet the same homeless people for years and they're still homeless. Somehow they haven't gotten out of it yet. And either it's bad habits, which is easy to get into for anyone in any circumstance. But a lot of times, what I realized from my personal experience with living out in the woods for several points in my life, that there's a freedom to it that a lot of people never get to experience otherwise. And sometimes they are actually addicted to the freedom that homelessness provides. Because when you're out there in the woods, in the elements, just having to think of where your next meal comes from and where you're gonna sleep, shower, bathe, etc. Realize how simple life can be when you're only focusing on these bare necessities. It's really interesting because when you're in society, you're so caught up with all of the hustle and bustle that goes on in the day-to-day world. However, when you're outside of society, it's a whole different paradigm. You get to look into everything that takes place in our day-to-day lives, from showering to washing your clothes to socializing with people. And you start to really look at it in a new way. You start to find values in new things. You find more of your own strengths and weaknesses. Also, that was the biggest takeaway from becoming a woodland creature for a while, was learning more of who or what I am, figuring out what I need to live, what's important to me in my day-to-day life, and what's important to just the human body in general. And one big thing also from living in the woods for a while, the longer you go without talking to humans, the closer you become to actually forgetting how to talk to people. Now, I don't mean that you're going to go completely dyslexic and forget what words are, but for anyone who has gone into a long period of isolation of any kind, they'll realize that when they come out of the isolation, fluent, constant communication becomes a hard thing. Like how I'm coming out with words right now in a fluid manner. That becomes difficult. You can't find words sometimes because you haven't thought of any in so long. You can't flow with your conversation because you're stopping to observe so much in between, and your brain just isn't processing a response because you haven't had to in a long time. And that's a big disadvantage to living in isolation for a period of time, because when you come out of that isolation, it becomes more difficult to readjust into society. So that's probably a big hurdle homeless people incur as well. They have a whole new way of looking at the world and talking about the world, so getting a job and socializing in a normal atmosphere does become more difficult. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys. And if you like content like this, please go to pci.farm and feel free to donate any amount. where we are currently saving up funds to build a dormitory for the Shalom Academy in Uganda. And I look forward to hitting that goal with you all. Until next time.